Lana. Lana. Lana.
Lana! What? Danger zone. Better call Kenny Loggins because you're in the danger zone. Dude, you laugh. Just because of that, I have like Danger Zone on my like all-time music playlists again. Just
Nice.
because of Archer and Danger Zone. You must have seen that one episode.
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins. Outlaw Country! She's like trying to tell Kenny Loggins how he's going to sing. It's like, no. That was a cool version though that they did, acoustic version.
Yeah. When they sing together and stuff.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that. I was like, I would love to get like a full, like,
And I'm
recording.
sure you could, dude. I'm sure somewhere.
I have to Google again, but I hope so because that was very good. I must say. Outlaw Country.
I just realized that like we just vented like crazy, and there's probably people out there that haven't even watched Archer at all, and they're like, "What the?"
For those of you that haven't, this is like a public service announcement. You need to watch Archer. Watch Archer. Watching you. Watch Archer. They need to.
No arguments. That's like all I've been watching. So
I can honestly say, for me, probably in the top 3 best dialogue
yeah, banter. Yeah.
shows ever, like of all time. Just incredible. I mean, I'd love to literally be there watching them in the studios if they do record together because it must be hilarious.
For sure, man. Yeah, flip. Did you know, like, you know that character thing you sent me where they're like so similar except for Archer?
Yes.
That I didn't know the main dude of the show is that, what's his name?
H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, but he's that gay dude in the show? Or did I get it mixed up? He does the voice for that, I think.
No. The gay dude in the show, you're talking Ray. The
Yeah,
Texan
Ray.
Yeah?
I could be wrong, but like...
He's not Archer.
No, not Archer, but the creator of the show. He does the voice for Ray, yeah.
Oh, that
like I saw that somewhere, like, and I'm like, it's such an odd character for him to be like, you know what, I'll do that guy's voice.
I love Ray too, dude, in the episode where he goes to visit his brother who's dealing drugs and guns and shit.
Yeah, flipping, he's so hardcore.
And Archer is like, she's like, can I give you some of my pie? I personally would love some of your pie. I just hope it's not dry and flaky.
And there's also, I can't remember what episode it is where like Cyril's like passed out or something, and then he's like, and he closes the door behind him to go take advantage of him.
Those psychedelics from Krieger.
Yeah.
And then Ray just rapes him in the bathroom. And Thingy loses her mind and she's naked and running around the place and they're trying to dart her and subdue her.
That's what I like. It's so like, you know, at first you're watching, you're like, what the hell am I watching? But then you get used to the over-topness of it. Like, someone's, like, the dude that always gets shot in the office. Like, it's, you know, it's kind of like their Kenny in South Park, you know, like, totally. It's so ridiculous, but it's hilarious. It
is next level, man.
Yeah, no, I dig, like, it's grown on us big time. Like I was saying to you off camera, like, season 10 for me was, like, a little bit slower, and there was moments where I kind of lost.
Yeah.
But then season 11 picks up and I'm like, finally he's out of his coma. Like, I don't want to give too much away, but then it goes straight on to that, like, because the dynamic changes so much
drastically. 100%.
Yeah, it gives it a whole new cool thing. So
no, I let that like the earlier ones were all like good, probably on a similar par for me. Season 5, because it's twisted, it changed completely when they became drug dealers, like Archer.
Yeah. Okay.
Season 5 broke me because Carol goes off on that outlaw country tangent. Thingy gets addicted to cocaine, which is like
it's hilarious.
in and of itself was everything is like cocaine.
That was a funny season. When you first said season 5, I was like, because we've been binging it, but you just had to say what you now. Yeah, I know, it was awesome.
Next level, the cameos there with Christian Slater and all of that. I loved it, man. Archer is just on another level.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's like, to me, the animation choice and stuff's quite interesting because sometimes it starts with that very 2D thing, but then there's some things that have this, I don't know how to explain it. It's like 3D, but it's not like some of like the flying scenes and the car scenes
chases,
and which 100%. I dig it. I find it very interesting.
It is a completely new or different type of animation to anything else. It's different to traditional pen and ink.
Yeah,
it's not completely 3D rendered stuff. It's its own unique thing, and it works. It works for the show.
No, I think so too.
So what else did you watch besides Archer? Did you get anything?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think, man, and like, you know, I've tried to watch a bit of Seven Deadly Sins because of Timmy's request.
Are you failing?
Yeah, I'm failing, but like, I know you guys say I can skip the title sequence, but even when it just starts, I'm like, you know, I'm just trying to like get into anime zone and
I skip it every fucking time, man.
Yeah, and then there's I don't know what her name is, but Meliodas. I just like drives me mad, but the characters are cool and stuff, and when they break out and they battle and stuff, and so yeah, I dig that. And you know, I like little bits of humor here and there where like they go through that like the creepy forest and then they meet what's the big chick? I can't remember her name is at the end.
DN.
Yeah, but then like at the end, you know, I don't know if you remember this part, but when he because everything starts duplicating.
Yes.
And then he figures out who the real girl is because she won't jump because she's missing her underwear, and then he gives her underwear. He's like, oh, yeah, the way he has this, you know, like.
And he's constantly groping girls or heads and boobs and all that stuff. Like
so there's a few funny, like, cool moments, but like I said, like, I think it's just me getting used to the whole anime/manga world, and it's going to take me a bit.
And there's different types. So for me, I like it because it's brilliant with its fight scenes. It's based on an RPG type model, so they get experience, they get more hardcore as the journey goes on. I loved all of those elements, the odd anime parts where they get really cartoony, like the eyes go funny, the mouths, and all of that's in there, which I like. Then you get other types of anime that are more serious and more, like you look at Ghost in the Shell, Akira, those don't have those elements. They're more hard, gritty, real world.
Yeah.
If you watch Cannon Busters, it's a Netflix one, anime. It's got that sort of it's all fun and playful, and every now and again it gets very cartoonified when one of them makes a mistake or something, and they make those funny faces and get embarrassed or whatever it is. And he's like a little bit of a horn dog, the one character, so he's always trying to, whenever he's in a new town and he sees a cute girl, he's so it's got those similar elements. So that's why I said if you do get into Seven Deadly Sins, I think you'll enjoy Cannon Busters as well. Very, very cool ones.
Cool.
On that note, hello, almost bumped that. Look. Anyway, Transformers. There is a anime on Netflix. It's got the second season came out over a New Year period. I think there are about 8 episodes in a season. And it's CGI rendered type of anime.
Okay.
But very, very good. So the first one is all about them on Cybertron. And it's very tied into the Transformers lore. So for a long time, you know, the cartoon came out originally, then that stopped. And it was the comic books that really advanced the lore a lot. And this has taken a lot from there. So I once had and read the comic where once upon a time, like, most of the Autobots and the Decepticons were all like slaves to like this one race of other robot type things, and for fun and sport they would make them fight in an arena, and Megatron rose to power and the leader of the Decepticons in the arena battling others until eventually he led a revolution against these guys, and they left the planet and Cybertron was left to the normal folks. And then Megatron became very, very power hungry, and that's what caused the divide between Autobots and Decepticons. And this has all of those elements in there. In fact, in the show, Megatron's base on Cybertron is the old Colosseum arena.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's
and
cool.
He's put a throne up on the highest point. That's where he sits, kind of thing. So it was very, very well done. And then second season is the Autobots have left Cybertron, and they're trying to find the Allspark and all that kind of stuff. So very well done, animated beautifully.
Okay, I'll definitely put it on my list. Yeah, you actually just reminded me. I won't talk much on it, but I started that X-Men anime series that you mentioned.
Oh yes, yeah.
So anyone who hasn't, it picks up after like the Dark Phoenix saga, and so like I haven't watched far, but I definitely agree with you. It was captivating, so I definitely want to like watch more of it.
And the animation is nicely done.
Yeah.
I mean, they make them all quite hardcore.
Yeah.
Cyclops, all of them. It's like,
Yeah, I actually forgot how hardcore like Wolverine is like for a while. Cause I'm so used to, like, not in a bad way, but I'm so used to Hugh Jackman. Like, that is
Yeah.
hardcore, but he's like toned down to a degree.
yeah.
You know, where this is like straight up, just I want to bash stuff,
Cut
like,
it to pieces.
You know, like
and
kill first, ask questions later.
yeah, 100%. And Cyclops is semi-broody throughout
Yeah.
the show because Jean is gone.
Yeah, and everyone keeps telling him to like just grow some balls, basically.
And I like how they did Storm. Storm's hot in that, the way they've drawn her and everything. She's sexy. Very nice. Yeah, fall in love with an anime character. So yeah, those are all good. Another one that I'm telling people to watch on Netflix. I had it for about a year, the movie, and I never got around to watching it. And it's on there, and when I saw it, I went, okay, let me finally give this thing a look. Called Upgrade.
Okay.
No major actors that I know of. I think it looks like it was shot in Australia. There's certain scenes and certain locations where I know The Matrix was shot in Australia, and there's certain parts of this movie where I'm like, oh, that was that one part in The Matrix, like the car chase part and that highway, and they shoot the exact same thing but at night and everything, so I recognize locations. Like I say, no actors that I know, but a very cool story.
Okay.
Sci-fi futuristic set. So basic premise is this guy gets crippled, proper like quadriplegic in a wheelchair, and this billionaire comes to him and approaches him with a proposition. He's got this new revolutionary microchip, and if he embeds it in the base of his spine, right at the sort of the base where your brain and spine connect or whatever, it will be able to restore his bodily motions or whatever. So basically the brain will send the signals, and this will bridge the gap, and he can then walk and everything all over again. And it just turns out there's a twist in that the chip starts communicating with him.
Oh,
and
wow.
he's got almost like a Venom inner monologue in his head kind of thing. So it was very cool, very different.
Definitely, it was definitely, that sounds
and
like something I dig.
And the dude who acts in it, what's very good is once he's got the chip and once he's walking again, from that moment on, he changes his acting. He walks very rigidly and robotically. Like he doesn't walk normally initially. Turns very acutely and all that kind of stuff. And only when he's in moments of danger or peril, it's almost like his instincts kick in, and there he moves more fluently. Or there's also parts where the chip says to him, would you like me to take full motor control to get you out of this situation? And he's like, yes. And then what's brilliant is it becomes even more robotic.
Okay.
So there's one scene where he actually fights a guy, and it looks almost like a choreographed breakdance the way he moves, because there's even a part where this chip anticipates a punch coming, and it like it blocks and it pushes his head, his own head out the way, and then it like moves, and it's very much like a choreographed dance, but this guy's throwing punches, kicks, and he's not landing a single thing.
Okay,
because the processor is busy anticipating and moving him, and every time he hits, he's hitting in lethal strike zones to break bone and all of that shit. So it was like very, very cool, and it's got a fantastic twist. Proper like, twist that I didn't even see coming.
Nice.
I was like, but freaky, like one of those scary, actually gives you goosebumps kind of twist.
Okay.
Very cool.
And that's on Netflix now.
On Netflix now.
Nice. Definitely, I'll check that out.
Great watch. I actually got Bryn to watch it. Told my family to watch it too. So
Actually, going to make a note of that now.
do that. Make a note.
While we-
Upgrade for everyone out there too. Great, nice little sci-fi. And again, it doesn't look like it has a massive $100 million budget kind of movie. It was just a very well thought out, well shot kind of movie. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
I'm trying to look how much time we have. Because I did get to watch Wonder Woman. And yeah, I know I have a whole bunch of thoughts there, and probably bounce them off you.
Yeah, I feel like almost like I'm not going to do you justice because and it might be part of crit that we both have. I don't know, but you probably, as you say stuff, you're going to have to refresh my memory. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, flip, because I've already haven't forgotten the film, but
You watched it like a week or two ago.
yeah, but that's part of my later thoughts is I was quite surprised. You know, remember I told you initially I enjoyed it,
Yes.
but it's weird how forgettable it is. Like,
Yeah.
so, and that's not only not like now. I realize I'm like, I actually, when you kind of like, dude, I got to tell you about Wonder Woman. I was like trying to rack my brain about what things were, and like, it's very forgetful. I hate to say that, like, and I didn't think that initially. So
I'm with you, and again, maybe potential spoiler alerts, and we'll probably have to put up a thing at the beginning, flash it or something, because yeah, it is for me. It's I've only watched it once,
me too.
and my first impression was I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? It was like, in fact, I probably enjoyed Ant-Man a bit more than that, because Ant-Man still had some better humorous moments to it.
Yeah.
But I found myself afterwards going, yeah, okay, all right. And it was literally, I thought, okay, let me just make a note to talk about it with everybody that, I've watched Wonder Woman, and have a bit of a dialogue on it with you. And as I was thinking, what would I comment on? It's almost like this thing, just all these little things started infiltrating my brain. And I was like, fuck, that was not a terrible movie, but it's not as good as it could have been. And again, the thing for me that says that is, normally when I watch a movie and I watch it 2, maybe 3 times, that's when I start to go, ooh, okay, yeah, there's a bit of a plot hole, or they could have done that part better. After one watch, these things have just, like at one stage, they were keeping me up. I was sitting up at night until like 11 o'clock, noting things that just were coming to me, and I was going, no, that was bad, that was dumb. I'll talk about the pros. I liked a lot of I liked the Backtooth, the Mascara, Her as a Girl, trials and rites of passage stuff happening, the competitions and the games that they would run and everything. I liked all of that. I, again, like the mentorship that you see from her mom and her aunt, trying to mold her into the warrior and everything. That was great. Immediately after that, I liked the sense of loneliness that they conveyed, how she was, she missed Trevor. She doesn't want to meet another person, so she's just kind of living her life, kind of heroing where she needs to, but carrying on, but no real purpose in a way. I thought it was clever how they brought him back. Initially in the premise of the movie and how what starts to cause all the chaos in the movie. I thought it was clever how he gets brought back, and it wasn't that he was brought back, it was just like his spirit within another body. So I liked all of that. I liked the invisible jet nod and putting that comic, on, and I thought it was clever how they explained the invisible jet, her using limited magics that she knows from the Mascara and that. So I thought, okay, great. I like the use of the lasso. At times, now I'm probably going to get into a little bit of the crits, but at times I thought it was maybe a bit too much, and a bit too much of a reliance and a dependence on the lasso. It was a lot of lasso. If you watch it, her constantly lassoing and very little use of her strength, speed, all the other things that she's got. I mean, she only uses the gauntlets once, and at that point quite ineffectual. If you remember, she's fighting Cheetah. What I do, sorry I'm interrupting you, but I actually think, I don't know if I'm going to let you talk, but the whole ding moment, like, it's gotten very cheesy for me. I wish they would find other ways for her to like use the gauntlets, but sure. But for me, the one time that I remember her doing it in the movie, it was ineffective. So I'm going, okay, like you say, great, that's a twist on it, like, cool. So it's not this all like mini atom bomb that goes off now and something's wrong. But then when her powers get restored, she doesn't use it as part of her arsenal again. And I was just like, okay.
Because you know what I don't like about that is, like, it's the fight. Like, oh, everything's gone wrong now.
It's an ultimate finishing move.
So it's like, why don't you just start with that? You know?
Fine, fair enough. The argument could be made similar to Superman. He doesn't come out of the gates.
Fair enough.
They try and as minimum force or whatever as possible, and as the fight goes on, like you say, eventually it's, fuck it, I'm going to end this now. What else didn't I like? Let's see. They do one of the biggest thing that annoys me amongst all the others, there's a metaphor that they bring in, a visual metaphor of the watch, Trevor's watch that's sitting on the mantle that's stopped. And then as soon as he's come back, it starts ticking again. Yes? Love it. I think I love it when movies or directors or any creatives think of nice, cool visual metaphors to give an audience. My problem with this one is they don't finish it. They don't bring the metaphor full circle. So
there's no payoff,
correct. So there's a part where eventually he goes, Trevor. Yeah, he ends, so to speak. Why not in some way find a way to show the clock again? Not even if it's not at that moment, but later on, before you wrap the movie, have a scene that shows the clock that's stopped again. They didn't do that. It's a complete missed opportunity to bring the metaphor full circle.
For sure.
They didn't do that. So that annoyed me. The gold suit, oh my fucking God. If the biggest waste of money, budget, costume, and screen time ever. Because what was the fucking point?
Yeah, no.
And the thing that fucking annoys me is there's this thing, she's flying to stop him, and she's starting to remember what Trevor told her. So they do that so nicely in how she discovers how to fly.
Yeah.
Awesome. And even the clever things where she uses her lasso to catapult us. I loved all of that. Then it's like she's going to the sky. Then all of a sudden, no wait, I'm going to stop. And they don't show you, but suddenly she's just at her apartment, grabs this fucking suit, and then she basically goes all the way back. Now, in the timeline, she's there in the city by her apartment. She leaps after or chases after Maxwell Lord to try and stop him. Flying, she learns to fly in the clouds. So you envision she's pretty close to where she needs to be. Then suddenly goes, no wait, turns the fuck around, comes all the way back, fetches the fucking gold. The world is falling fucking apart. You know, it's like literally he's destroying everyone and everything at this moment. But she decides, no, I'm almost there. I'm going to turn the fuck around, go and get this golden suit that does fuck all in the grand scheme of things, because she arrives in it, she lands, and within 2 minutes it's destroyed and gone. So what the fuck was the point? For me, it would have made sense if she used it in a moment where she didn't have her full power.
Yeah.
That would have made sense to me. So she's using it until her full power gets fully on board. But the fact that she got her full power back, learns to fly even. So it wouldn't have even made sense to me if she hadn't learned to fly and she was using those wings.
To fly or something like that, yeah.
But she learns to fly. It's this whole beautiful moment, remembering things that he's taught her. Then she turns around and goes to get the fucking pointless suit when the world is fucking falling apart. No, the more I thought about that, and that hit me in the moment of watching the movie, I was like, oh, you fucking, what is the fucking point to this? We've got extra money to blow, so let's fucking blow it on a useless 20 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
Yes, that fucked me off, okay? I can't even tell you how stupid that was. So, initially I started thinking Patty Jenkins was a good director. I'm sorry, I don't see it anymore. So, like, what the fuck was the point of that? I can envision some producer who gave them however many millions contributed to the movie, insisted that they put that in there.
Apparently there was alternative ways the film ended. This is a side rant, but what annoys me is everyone's like, oh, the studio got involved. And I know I'm guilty of that. But it's only when the movie goes wrong, everyone's like, the studio, like, you have some education for anyone who's not in filmmaking. The studio always gets involved. Things are always reshot. There always are multiple endings. This is commonplace in film.
Yeah,
because when shit goes wrong, then they're like, oh no, but they meddled. So no one gives credit to when the studio gets it right the other 80% of the time. So,
sure. Yeah. Look, for me, dude, someone probably insisted that this had to be in the beginning, whenever it happened, but because it was pointless and stupid. So. I'm sorry, Patty Jenkins, who's involved, you're the director, you're probably involved in the editing. Find a better way to bring this fucking thing in. Work with the script writers. I don't know. Again, if you're a really good director, you complete a visual metaphor like the clock thing, which was stupid and didn't happen. I hated Maxwell Lord. I love the actor. I think he is awesome. And for the character that he was given, I think he did a good job with it.
Yeah, that's what I try to explain to you. Like,
So-
sorry, let me let you finish your thought. But
No, so yeah, Pedro Pascal, love him. I think he's great. All the little things that I've seen him in, he's good. For the character that he was playing, I think he was good. It was a good character. But for me, it's not Maxwell Lord at all. It was, and taking it one step further, it's like you weigh or you measure the hero against their villains. So what are they trying to tell us? That Wonder Woman's only good enough to beat a sniveling little liar? Because that's really what that character was. He was a little lying con man.
that got power, you know. Like,
And a little smidgen of power. It's like, really? That's really all she's good to do is beat a little sniveling, weaseling con man.
you see, what would have been smart is if he started as a con man and you saw his progression of becoming smarter and becoming,
Yes.
you know, like...
But he never does. He's just constantly weaseling and worming his way through. So the power that he gets, granting wishes, he makes it abundantly clear that every wish has a consequence. Right? So even right there in that whole thing, it's like he asks people stuff and then he mentions that there's going to be a consequence and it eventually materializes for various people. Well, what was Cheetah's? She wishes for Wonder Woman's power, she gets it, and then what did she sacrifice or give up? That doesn't happen. And then, to further flaw the whole thing, he makes it very clear everyone only gets one wish.
And she got two, yeah.
So for me, why does she get two? And then secondly, the consequence should have been that. She should have wished or done it in such a way that, yes, she's getting faster, stronger, all of Wonder Woman's powers. Maybe the offshoot problem is the deformation, her becoming Cheetah. That would have made more sense to me. But
See, what I think they try to do and they didn't execute it, which is, I think, commentary on just current world nonsense, is that she was perfect the way she was. The shy, like, do you get what I mean? So her loss was losing herself, how she was. That's kind of, I think, and I agree, it's poor execution because one would want to be stronger, faster, like, you know, like, so.
100%. And yes, most people would naturally get arrogant, cocky when you have... That's that whole great power, great responsibility. So, you know, for me, they could have done it in a different, more tragic way of where some heroes realize that and take up the responsibility of that power. Cheetah never does. So there's a different way. She just kind of vanishes. And the way they did it was just poor. In the whole Maxwell Lord thing, the way she defeats Maxwell Lord, done. Just stupid. The whole thing was to get people to start renouncing their wishes, So she uses the lasso of truth. He should have started spewing truth and her message out to everybody. What should have started to happen was you should have seen people renouncing their wishes and then him getting weaker and weaker and weaker. That's what they should have done. But instead... For some unknown reason, he just suddenly has a guilty conscience. And he just suddenly decides to stop doing what he's doing. And after he stops, then you see everyone starting to renounce it. It was, no, just stupid. You've set this thing up, you've established rules, and then you just don't follow them to execute. And if you just stuck to the rules, it would have made so much more sense, and they didn't. So it was just all of those little things that were just... dumb. And I have to look at Jeff Johns, who was heavily involved in the script, the screenplay, the everything. So Jeff Johns, stick to fucking writing graphic novels. Seriously, because you're a poor visual storyteller, in my opinion. And Patty Jenkins, she's not all that. If I have to rate, I'll only rate people off their last work or whatever. If that was my standpoint, she's not a good director. She nailed it with the first movie, did everything right there. Here, no. It was... So, what was it slipped into actually too flawed for me.
Gotcha.
The cons now have outweighed all the pros that I liked about it. So
yeah, I noticed some of that stuff and some of it not, which is it's cool that you've pointed it out. It'll get me thinking, but like, I don't want to betray my former opinion of like what I had, but I think I was just so happy to go back to freaking movies and the cinema, and it was just so exciting for me. And
I get that. That's yeah. Oh.
So, if you liked what Mark and I were talking about here, or just like our content in general,
please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more videos.
And yeah, do us a favor and find us on the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram.
See you in the next video.